Welcome back to another movie review on the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. As always, there will be a spoiler-free section of the review, and there will be a spoiler section when I am talking spoilers. Again, this pop tag will be on the screen. You don't have to worry about if you haven't seen the film already. It's going to be a little bit shorter review than normal. I don't have too much to say, but I still kind of want to share my thoughts. I went into the theater with very low expectations. I saw the trailer before it released and was kind of intrigued, but it wasn't anything super crazy where I wanted to race to the theater opening weekend or anything like that. But I found myself taking a day off today and decided that I was going to go see a movie, and that was the movie of choice. And honestly, I'm glad that I went in with an open mind and didn't really have many expectations. Overall, the movie was incredible. I really enjoyed the art style that they went. Um, Something I looked up and was noted after was that they took inspiration from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for kind of like the art style direction that they wanted to take the film, and I think they handled it really, really well. Um, and it was just visually appealing the entire time. I kind of just enjoyed everything that I was watching. Um, the characters well put together as always, and obviously the last Puss in Boots movie came out in 2011, so we're about 12 years out from that original film. So it is kind of nice to see the character again. Um, and yeah, I just had a good time. And I didn't have a lot of issues with the film. I'll go more into specifics in the spoiler section of the review, but I kind of just some of the dialogue felt a little off, but I also don't necessarily think I was the audience they were catering to. Um, had I been in that demographic that they were trying to push this film towards, I think I would have probably not minded the dialogue, but as just who I am and everything else, kind of bugged me a little bit, but ultimately it wasn't a deal breaker to ruin my impression on the film. For the most part, the story was pretty damn good, and you get to see a lot of different character arcs and stuff like that. And I think it was an interesting dynamic. And it had a perfect balance between all the sets of characters in the film, and I really, really enjoyed that. Um, so I think that is a very unique aspect that I can appreciate. I think this is a great film to go see with family, or if you have a young kid, I think they would really enjoy this movie. Um, and I just think it's a good watch. I don't necessarily think you need to experience it in theaters. I think it's a great film that you could just throw on your TV at home for a family movie night or whatever, and still get a very authentic experience with it. Um, but yeah, overall, I don't have I like I said, I don't have a lot of problems with the film. It's very visually appealing. Everything felt pretty damn solid. Um, but I don't think I can warrant giving it a 5 out of 5 just because I don't necessarily think the film was catered towards me, so it's kind of a little off there. So for that reason, conclude the spoiler-free section of the review. I will be giving this film a 4.25 out of 5 stars. Um, just because I can appreciate the art style and everything, and the effort that you can tell that went into this film. I do like all the little nods to childhood, stories and fairy tales and all of that. I do love those. But sometimes those little nods feel a little bit more forced than I would like. But again, it's not a huge deal breaker. But now we're gonna go over and switch over to the spoiler section of the review. And yeah, there isn't too much I want to talk about in the spoiler section. The main thing is just that I really love the dynamic of a of the relationship and just character arcs of every character involved in the story, except one of them, or except Jack Horner's character. Um, he's basically the main antagonist, and then you have Goldilocks and the bears and stuff like that, who are also an antagonist technically, but by the end of the film, we see this character development arc where they go from not being antagonists and kind of helping out um, the protagonists in Puss in Boots and Kitty. Um, and I think it's a very interesting dynamic, and I love to see that development between the characters, and just kind of seeing everything come full circle. The ending of the film was incredible. I really liked that we see Puss in Boots build as a character and just realize that he doesn't need any more lives and that he has everything he in this last life. And I think that's a very interesting dynamic. And the film ended exactly how I would want it to end. Um, Although it may have been a little bit predictable, I am happy that it was predictable because I don't think there's any better way to end that in the film. And kind of the same thing with Goldilocks, where she's trying to fight for this wish as well because she wants to be able to have a normal family with humans and as everything. And by the end of the film, she eventually realizes that her family is right in front of her and she doesn't need that. And then they all kind of just team together to take down Jack Horner, who is the main antagonist. And I think it was just the perfect final 10 to 15 minutes of the film that I could have asked for. There wasn't too much dead time, which was fantastic. Film was a perfect length. And just again, just some of the nods were a little bit there. They were just they forced the it's just right line a little bit more than I would like, but I think I'm being a little bit nitpicky there. So I'm not gonna hold it too hard over the film. Um, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed the film. Again, my rating back a little bit ago, but I would still recommend the film for any age range. I think anyone will find some kind of value out of it, enjoyment, and I think it is just worth even seeing just for the animation and how well it was put together. Um, and yeah, if you have seen the film, I would love to talk about it with you guys in the comments down below. If it's super, super spoiler, you can always reach out on other social medias. That'll all be down in there. And as always, there will be a review up on my Letterboxd, which will also be in the description. If you want to keep up more on like written reviews of films rather than these YouTube videos, or if I just don't have time to make a YouTube video, I will always throw up a Letterboxd review after I watch some sort of new film. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on the next one.